Welcome back to our 31st season of 7-Eleven Junior Hockey Magazine. I'm Adam Scully, filling in for Gino Retta. Time now for our CJHL Report. The Canadian Junior Hockey League brings together the 115 teams and the 9 Junior A leagues involving over 2,500 players from right across the country. The Centennial Cup is now just over a month away. To speak more on that, joining us now is Dean McIntosh, Hockey Canada's Vice President of Events and Properties. Dean, welcome to the show. Good to have you with us.
Thanks for having me on today, Adam. Really looking forward to this.
Okay, Dean, we haven't seen the Centennial Cup since 2019 because of the pandemic. What's your excitement level for the tournament now that it's just under a month away?
Yeah, it's incredibly high right now. I mean, we came off such a high in 2019 in Brooks, where that community just delivered an amazing event. Obviously, the host team won, so that's always a benefit as well. And you know, without having the Centennial Cup or our major domestic events here in the spring, the last couple of years has really been a miss on the hockey calendar, and can't wait to be in Estevan late in May.
So for those who haven't been to a Centennial Cup before, what's it all about? Because they're generally in smaller communities. There's great support. What's a typical week like for a Centennial Cup?
Yeah, it's a great question. And we are transitioning this year a little bit from a traditional 5-team event for our national championship Centennial Cup to a 10-team event. But, you know, traditionally, I think the keys are this. We have great small community support here in Canada. And this year in Estevan is the same thing. You've got a community of modest size. You've got a building of a little over 2,000 people. But what our communities are able to do, whether it's Cobourg, Ontario, or Brooks, Alberta, or in this case, Estevan, Saskatchewan, they fill buildings over the course of the week. And the event's normally 13 games. This year it'll be 25. But we expect close to 50,000 fans to pack that building over the course of the week to see not just the Bruins play, but the other 9 teams that have qualified as well.
Yeah, you mentioned the other 9 teams and the format change. What were some of the major reasons behind this format change?
Yeah, excellent question. You know, we looked at where hockey was, I'm going to say the last 2 weeks of January here in Canada, and we had a lot of leagues and teams not playing hockey. And I think we looked forward and said, you know, let's make a decision now for the betterment of the game and the betterment of the Centennial Cup. And in looking at that, we spoke with the Canadian Junior Hockey League. We spoke with all 9 leagues. We spoke with regional hosts of championships to qualify for the Centennial Cup and said, you know, would we consider a situation where Hockey Canada would support a 10-team event instead of a 5-team event in exchange for canceling the regional events and moving the qualification of the league championships back a couple of weeks? What we really wanted to do is to ensure that, you know, the players had an opportunity to complete the season. The teams had an opportunity to compete in the right manner for a provincial championship or for a league championship locally. In order to qualify for the national championship. So it's a change. I think it's a change for the good, quite honestly. We're going to have representation from all 9 leagues. And it's going to be just some amazing competition over the course of the 10 days there.
So with the format change, how is it going to work now in terms of round robin, getting to the qualifying round? How's that all going to work?
Yeah, we've gone to a different format. It's all going to be in Estevan. I think that was one of our first challenges. Can we do all of this in Estevan? And have to give great props to that community from accommodations, meals, the venue for all of the teams. It's going to be a tremendous week. But what we've done is we've divided the teams into 2 pools, basically leagues. Until they qualify, we won't know the names of the teams, but 2 pools of 5. They'll play a round robin over the course of the week. The top 3 teams from each pool will qualify for a semifinal, with the top team in each pool actually getting a bye directly to the semifinal. So we'll have 6 teams out of 10 that qualify for the semifinal, and we'll ultimately play right through May the 18th to find, May 18th to May the 29th to find a champion on May 29th.
That's all very, very exciting. We're talking Centennial Cup with Dean McIntosh, Hockey Canada's Vice President of Events and Properties. So with this format change, that also means much more than on the ice. There's off the ice too, travel for teams, accommodations, officials, volunteers. What's that been like for you as part of the committee to help organize all this?
Yeah, and I can't say enough about our communities in Canada, and specifically in this case, Estevan. Estevan, small gas town in southern Saskatchewan, originally planned to accommodate, 4 teams coming in for the event. And that would typically be about 100 rooms over the course of the week that they would be there. Obviously, dignitaries, TSN, other groups coming in as well. But, to change and really change tact over a period of 3 months, essentially, to more than double the room requirements on hotels. They worked with multiple restaurants locally to provide meals for the teams over the course of the week so that we can, make that per diem go further for the teams as they compete for the event there. The venue has basically, we're going to take over the entire venue. Estevan has a double pad there as well as a community space that's part of the venue. We're going to take over the entire space so the teams have additional meeting room for coaching staff and therapy and those types of things. So, for a community to change direction so quickly with the support, of course, from the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League, it's really amazing to see them come together on a volunteer level and a community level.
Yeah, you mentioned it right there, the volunteer level, because these events don't go on without the help of volunteers. Just how crucial have volunteers been, and how crucial will they be, especially given this change in the last 3 months?
Yeah, if you look at sort of Hockey Canada hosting events, and in years that we would host a World Juniors or a Women's Worlds, including our domestic events, we would have in excess of over 2,000 people that volunteer their time to support Hockey Canada programs. And those volunteer roles are everything from, volunteer drivers, volunteer ticket takers, volunteer ushers, to volunteers doing team laundry, which is always a difficult recruitment process. But you've got all of those different roles, and really it's pride and community that we find is the number one thing. We find individuals of all ages, and male and female, looking to give their time to say, I just want to be a part of this community event in Estevan. And I want to give 16, 18, 48 hours over the course of the week to make the event better and to really demonstrate our community pride. And it's something in Canada that I don't know a lot of other sports can relate to, and I'm not sure a lot of other countries can relate to, but our volunteer support is tremendous, and we just can't say enough about it.
We're with Dean McIntosh, Hockey Canada's Vice President of Events and Properties. So Centennial Cup is just around the corner. A couple of other events are as well, including the TELUS Cup, the SO Cup. How excited are you for the return of these events?
Yeah, big announcement today, actually. I think we're, tickets
breaking news
on sale. Tickets are going to be on sale. We're all excited about that. And, we made a decision about the same time in late January to look at the TELUS and the SO Cup. They were originally planned for Cape Breton, Nova Scotia, and Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, respectively. We made a decision and recommendation to our board that we bring both events under one roof. We didn't want to reach a decision not knowing where COVID was going, that we had to cancel one and not the other. So we've moved both of those events, the TELUS and the SO Cup, to Okotoks, Alberta. There's a double pad in Okotoks as well as a secondary venue there. We will have 12 teams total, 6 for the TELUS Cup, 6 for the SO Cup. We actually invited the original hosts from Prince Albert and Cape Breton, respectively, to come and, try to compete for a national championship, not on their home soil, but still as the host of the event. So it's a little unique that a Cape Breton is hosting an event in Okotoks, Alberta, but we've also made commitments down the road to go back to Cape Breton and Prince Albert, respectively, so they'll still have their hosting opportunity. But, we're thrilled to be at Okotoks. Obviously, Hockey Canada has offices in Calgary, and we think we can make a great experience here in Alberta in mid-May.
Dean, one final one before we let you go. We're talking about these great events that are back, but for 2 years, they weren't here because of COVID, because of the pandemic. What's it been like for you personally to help navigate through everything that COVID has brought to try to bring these events back?
I guess like anyone, you have a challenge, right? On over the last 2 years, trying to figure out how to manage through COVID and what are the priorities and how do we deliver events. I think we've always said the number one priority is athlete safety and the community safety. We never want to be perceived as an organization that's putting the communities that we're hosting in at risk. We never want to be perceived as an organization that's putting athletes at risk. We think we're back to a point where we can deliver events in a relatively normal environment this spring with the TELUS, SO, and Centennial Cup. And we certainly hope that continues through the summer. We're thrilled to have the Hlinka Gretzky Cup coming back to Central Alberta and Red Deer. We're thrilled to be working with the IHF to bring the World Junior Championship back to Edmonton in August, and hopefully get back to a little bit of normalcy as we move into the 22-23 season. But it's been a challenge. We've had great support from our members at each of the provincial territorial levels. We've had great support from Public Health Canada and all of the public health agencies across in every province. So can't say enough about the organizations that have allowed us to deliver what we've delivered. But it'll be great to allow U18 male, female, and our junior hockey players to compete for national titles this spring.
Well, Dean, a lot of great events coming up. Thanks for your time today. I know a lot of hard work's gone into it. Enjoy the events coming up, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Adam. Keep up the great work, and thanks to TSN for your continued support.
That was Dean McIntosh, Hockey Canada's Vice President of Events and Properties. That wraps up this week's CJHL Report. The Canadian Junior Hockey League, your future is here. Still inside 7-Eleven Junior Hockey Magazine. He played his entire junior career with the Kitchener Rangers, and now he's with the Buffalo Sabres. We'll check in with Jeff Skinner in this week's edition of Where Are They Now? This is our 31st season of 7-Eleven Junior Hockey Magazine.